here on Facebook and Instagram Live. My name is Sammy Jakubiak. You may remember me from such shows as My Kitchen Rules back in 2011 with my sister Bella. But today I'm joined by Heather Jeong. She's from the Korean Cultural Centre, and she's here to help me, I guess, learn about beautiful Korean food. And today we're in particular celebrating Korean Thanksgiving. Hello Heather, welcome.
Hi Sammy.
So thank you so much for joining us here at the Good Food and Wine Show, Instagram and Facebook. And you've obviously got this beautiful spread out here. But tell us a little bit more about Korean Thanksgiving.
Yes, it's called Chuseok. Chuseok is Korean Thanksgiving, and we are celebrating the successful harvest of the year, the autumn harvest. But we also are paying our respect to our ancestors and thank the ancestors. But more than that, Chuseok means spending time with your family. So actually Chuseok, Korean Thanksgiving, is on today, matter of fact.
Yeah, fantastic. So you're cooking this feast now, and then you're going to have to go home and cook it again for your family.
Yes, exactly. But that's okay, all our family will gather around today and we'll be enjoying this beautiful food. And sometimes we'll be wearing this traditional costume called hanbok. It's a female.
Very cute. I maybe should have worn this outfit for today this time.
Yeah.
I love how you have it on the kangaroo and on the koala. Very, very cute. So those outfits are worn traditionally by everyone?
Yes.
On the day?
Yes. Oh, not everyone,
yeah.
but mostly we try to wear it. Mm-hmm. And it's a day that you can spend time with the family and wear hanbok, Korean costume, and enjoy great food. And it's a great family time. It's,
beautiful.
Yeah, usually a lot of people travel to go to their ancestral home, but I guess these days it's very hard to travel.
Well, luckily we have the spread here and we can invite everyone onto the live to join us, to experience it with us. So it is a family time. Do you spend a lot of time with family cooking together, making these dishes?
Yes, I mean food is a proxy for love. For a lot of Koreans, for a lot of cultures. So we spend a lot of time cooking food. And this rice cake here is called Songpyeon. This symbolizes Chuseok. It's a half moon shape. It's a rice cake, and it's so important in Korean Chuseok culture that we greet people with have you eaten Songpyeon today.
Ah, I love that. That's so beautiful. Well, no, I haven't eaten any, but you're going to actually show me how to make it.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about the spread that you put on. Is this everything that you would eat, or is this just part of it?
It's part of what we eat, but it's quite an important food because this is a very typical Chuseok food spread.
Yeah.
So here we have short ribs, braised short ribs.
Yum.
We have japchae, which is sweet potato noodles. And this is Korean pancakes, some biscuits, and of course kimchi.
I love kimchi.
Yeah, lots of different types of kimchi, and there's rice, and Koreans just love soup, so we'll have to finish. We actually finish our meals with soup rather than dessert sometimes. And of course the very important Songpyeon, which we're going to show the viewers how to make.
Fantastic. So if you're at home, you can follow along how we make beautiful Chuseok, and we can, I guess, get started if you're ready.
Yeah.
So I've never made this before, so I'm going to have lots of questions, probably the same questions that people would have at home, and hopefully I can become an expert after this.
Yeah. I'll make sure that you become an expert. Here, Sammy, we have wet rice flour. I got this from a rice cake factory. For the viewers who want to make this, what you do is you just get short medium grain rice and soak it overnight so that it's nice and plump.
Okay.
And then
so that's why it's wet.
Yes, very wet. Yep. And then you drain it very well. Drain it for about 3 or 4 hours so that you get rid of as much moisture as possible. Yep. And then put it through a Thermomix if you have one.
Yeah.
Or if you don't, just put it through a blender.
Okay.
And then you get wet rice flour, and this is what you need for Songpyeon.
So do you need it to be completely dry when you puree it?
If you can sort of, it's not completely dry. It's got that sort of a little cold feeling.
It does. Yeah, that's very true. I've never ever heard of doing that and making that yourself. So that's very
you're I make it quite a lot if I don't have access to it.
Can you buy it made like this, or do you buy the dry rice, cook it, and make it
You
yourself?
can buy, but in Australia you might have to speak Korean. So
Ah,
you can learn Korean.
okay.
And then buy the rice flour, or you just make it in a blender. And then anyway, to this, I'm not going to add salt. There's
Okay.
already salt added to this.
When you're cooking it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is hot water. Make sure you put for hot water. I'm going to try to get you to make kind of like a play dough consistency.
Okay. You want me to stir it?
Yes, you can stir with the rice paddle.
Okay.
Rice paddle is also cooking in equipment. So just a little bit at a time.
So just stir.
So what you're trying to do is trying to make a like a dough, like a play dough. So don't put too much water, because otherwise you're gonna have a wet dough.
Yeah, because that's a little bit of water that's already absorbed
right.
in quite a lot.
Yeah. There's a Korean word for, and it's called jolgit. This is a Korean language class as well. It means sort of like chewy, but chewy as in a very good Turkish delight that you may have had it from Turkey, like that. Really nice chew.
Beautiful.
Yeah, not like a jerky chewy.
Yeah.
Like
a sticky chew.
sticky chew.
Yeah.
It's called jolgit, and that's what we're trying to do when we're making this rice cake. So
I don't know if I'm doing a good job with this. I'm so nervous.
So I'm gonna try to and we can get our hands in there.
Okay.
So I usually do the first lot with the rice paddle, and then afterwards, I want to see what the texture's like.
So using your hands and
yes,
feeling.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's coming together a lot better now than you're doing it with your hands.
And it's
I always say the hands are the best tools in the kitchen, because exactly for that reason you can actually feel the consistency, you can feel the moisture.
That's right.
You know, any sort of cooking that you do at home, your hands are really the best tools.
Yeah, and I'm just going to make this for a plate, and it's quite a forgiving dough. But you need to have that jolgit texture. You need to work a fair bit. If you have a dough little attachment to your food
like a
processor,
stand mixer
or stand mixer, then that's perfect.
And so working it, there's obviously not gluten strands, but you're working the sort of the strands that are connecting it and giving it that beautiful texture.
The more you work it, the chewier the dough becomes. And then it's very important that you put it in a plastic container like this, a plastic bag like this, and you're just trying to make it even more sort of large.
Okay, yeah.
So we'll leave this here.
Okay.
And then I've got one prepared for you.
So do you need to rest it? Is it a resting process, or just work
you
it?
don't have to if you're running out of time,
Yeah.
but it's better if you do.
Okay.
So I just have one that I've done about,
Beautiful. Can I feel?
Yes. So if you like to just
it is just like Play-Doh, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
I wonder if you could make a nice, add some food colouring and do some. Well, you're going to add some colouring.
That's right. That's right. You can use. I mean, we've got so many different colours here, but we don't use food colouring. So the green is from like mugwort powder. You can use green tea. The purple I've used purple potatoes.
Beautiful.
The orange is from the pumpkin.
And so you put like the puree.
Puree, or it can be brown powder forms.
This is a very healthy dish, isn't it?
That's right. It's gluten-free as well.
Gluten-free.
Yeah. So, and I'll show you how to. So you're trying to make it into golf balls.
Mini golf ball size.
Golf ball size. Maybe that's a little bit too big.
I'm so curious to see this.
So a good trick is if you just make it into a little half moon and then compare it to the rest, and that's a good size, I think.
Okay.
So,
and are you going to put filling in it?
Yes,
so
I'm going to fill this.
So you need it to be maybe a little bit smaller than that, because then the filling will.
Yeah, but it doesn't actually expand too
No?
much.
Yeah.
That's good. So
I
love it. This is what Korean families do. We sit around and we talk. It's really fun. So if you can just see like a little disc like that.
Okay.
And this is sort of mung bean puree. You can add anything, any beans, lentils, sesame seeds, any healthy ingredient that you like. I've steamed the mung beans for about half an hour, mashed it up, added some honey, and then I'm going to use this as a filling.
So
for my
closing it.
just closing it. It's a lot easier than
Then like a dumpling.
Yeah,
or
a dumpling.
Yeah.
So you get rid of the air bubbles. Look, I'm making this look as a lot easier than it is. So
Well,
get rid of
you're a
that.
professional. You've
Yeah.
been doing this for many years.
So you do that, and then just squeeze the ends like so.
Get the shape.
To get the shape.
Absolutely
And it's a
beautiful.
half moon shape.
Mhm.
Sammy, do you know why the half moon?
I'm feeling it's got something to do with the holiday.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's an Asian country. We always talk about luck and prosperity.
Yes.
If you eat this, it brings you luck.
Oh,
So that's
isn't
why
it
we
beautiful?
always eat sompion. And it's a half moon shape because usually Chuseok is on the Ides of August. So the biggest full moon
Yeah.
of autumn. And it's not a full moon shape because that's like, that's done. But if it's a half moon, the luck can go up, whereas the full moon, the luck can come down.
Yes.
So
Okay.
that's why it's a half moon shape.
So we want more luck coming to us, not less luck.
That's right.
Yes.
So would you like to have a
I
little
would
go?
love to have a turn. I was going to use gloves, but I think this is so you like to squeeze it in your hands a few times.
That's right.
Compare the size. So I think that mine will be a little bit too big.
You're a natural, Sammy.
Oh, thank you. I'd be pretty upset if I wasn't very good at this, or even mildly good. But it's actually quite fun, isn't it? This is something you could definitely do with your kids. I mean, it's
That's right.
school holidays at the moment.
And kids love doing this, and it's really healthy.
Okay, so, and then I put it into
The
a round
disc,
disc.
golf ball. You could
Oh,
use
sorry, golf ball. See,
Well,
I've
and
got
a mini golf ball.
mini golf ball.
And this is sesame seeds, filling for the sesame seeds. So I'll just show you how to make the filling with the
Yes,
sesame
please.
seeds. Some sugar or honey or maple syrup.
So the toasted sesame seeds.
That's right, yeah. And I've just pounded a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And you just add a little bit of water or honey or some liquid. You're going to try to make a sort of a rough sand.
Yeah.
If you so sort of
Slightly
a rough,
wet-
sandy, wet
Sand
sand.
at the beach, yeah.
That's right.
Okay, so
But I don't want to put you on the spot because this is a lot harder to make
Because it's dry, it's going to
Yes,
come out.
so
Okay.
Let me start with the.
I'm going to do the mung
beans.
beans. So this is something I can imagine everyone sitting around the table together. Is that not filling or too much?
No, that's fine.
That's fine. Sitting
Okay.
together around the table. Okay,
And
so kimchi.
this is autumn time,
Mhm.
so we have something during autumn. And in Korea, pine nuts are just everywhere in autumn.
Mhm.
And we lay the steamer basket with the pine nut needles, and then put the dumplings on top before we steam.
So beautiful.
It's so beautiful, and it's because of the fragrance that the pine needles gives, and also it's an antiseptic kind of effect.
So they're just like the most healthy little parcels of goodness every step of the way. Okay, so I don't know. I'm so embarrassed to show. Okay, so I don't know if I've quite nailed the shape, but I've got the filling in
There's a
there.
Korean saying, Sammy,
Yes.
that if you can make the most beautiful looking sompion, you're going to marry well, and you're going to have beautiful children.
Oh my God! I need to get better at this.
But I think it was, yeah.
Does
I'm
that
sure
look okay?
I think that's perfect.
Is that
That's
perfect?
beautiful.
Okay.
Yep, so
So-
we put it on top of the pine needles that your kind father has
Yes.
liked to.
So actually, Heather called me. We had a really good chat about what we're going to be doing today, and she said, "I need some pine needles." And in my family, because we're Polish tradition, we go foraging for mushrooms. And my father actually has a pine tree outside the front of his house. And when Heather said, "I need pine needles," I'm like, "Great! I know just the place." So my dad went out into the garden and picked all these pine leaves for us and delivered them in a big styrofoam box. So I'm very happy that we get to keep the tradition.
Yeah, so thankful. Really appreciate it. I'm going to freeze these pine needles for next time, and we're going to steam this for about 20 minutes to about half an hour until it's very chewy, sort of like that chewy.
Beautiful.
texture.
And so you've also got just a piece of cloth here.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you can use anything there. Yeah.
Okay.
Or any steamer.
Well, it just looks so beautiful in there, just sitting like that. as
Yes,
well.
it's about autumn and it's about Chuseok.
And so do you eat them hot or cold or?
It's cold.
Cold. Okay. So you take them out, you let them cool.
That's right. Or you can have it warm, but usually it's cold.
Yeah.
And Sammy, while I'm just going to move this
Of course. Yeah.
for the main event, for I think a lot of viewers are ready for the
Excited.
kimchi making. So I'm just going to move these and
Beautiful,
get
of
the
course.
cabbage and all the things for kimchi.
So these are going to steam for about half an hour, and we've got the beautiful plate here ready. And I'm just eyeing off. So there's actually not just one or even a few different types of kimchi from Korea. Korea has many, many, many different types of kimchi. So we're very, very lucky here to have Heather today to show us, some beautiful techniques and traditions around making kimchi. And I have attempted to make kimchi myself, and I did have one Korean boy try it, and he said it was better than his mother's, but I think he was lying to me. So I'm very excited to actually learn from you, Heather, an expert, so that I can go home and try making it myself. And I'm sure everyone at home would love to make it as well. There's a lot of great places to buy Korean ingredients from around Sydney and around Australia. So I think Heather's going to have some great tips on where we can buy all the ingredients that we need to make beautiful kimchi as well. And I love, there's a few documentaries out there where they find, 1,000-year-old kimchis that have been dug up from, pits in people's homes where they've got underground everything.
That's right. And
fermenting.
That's right, Sammy. And today I brought from home kimchi that's 1 year old.
Oh my
You can
gosh,
try.
really?
So
That's very
right.
special.
First of all, traditional kimchi uses cabbage.
Yes, okay.
So Korean cabbage or Napa cabbage or
Yeah.
whatever. And this is such a wonderful ingredient. I mean, these big wide leaves capture all the energy from the sun.
Beautiful.
And this is this energy that we're eating.
Yeah.
And there's a chemical compounds in the cabbage that keeps it for a long time. So
it's like a natural yeast that lives on the leaves that helps the fermentation
it's just,
process.
it's just a fantastic, and it grows on even in the snowfield. So that's how hardy it is. And the bridesmaid, the sidekick to the cabbage, is the radish called mu, and that's the greens, and that's the root, and that's the green is from the chlorophyll. That's the photosynthesis. So it's all good. So that's and I really love doing this. First, we're going to salt this Sammy.
Salt the cabbage.
Yeah, but a lot of Asian culture, the Korean culture, you pay respect to not just consumption of animals, but for veggies as well. So try to keep it really, really natural and follow the natural hairline.
Okay. So you just do that initial incision just to get it open, and then
that's right. So just tear it, and just make sure you have a really sharp knife too. You don't want to bruise the cabbage too much.
So that's already the first mistake that I made. Is I cut up my cabbage into smaller pieces.
Yes.
And I always wondered how they got, when you go to Korean restaurants, you see beautifully laid leaves of cabbage in the kimchi. And so this is why, obviously, because you keep it intact.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you can make, just getting the friend soon. You can make the cut up kimchi, as you've just mentioned. And that's called quick kimchi. And that's what a lot of non-Koreans buy in the supermarket.
Yeah.
But the traditional one, this is the one that you can keep for years.
Okay, yeah.
So to this is a quarter cabbage, and we're going to salt this.
Okay.
And we kind of salt quite vigorously.
So this is to start releasing some of the liquid that's going to be the liquid that ferments.
Yes, that's right. Once you and you just salt the inside of the cabbage, and the cabbage that I've made, the kimchi that I made like 300 heads of cabbage one Sammy. So that was a truck load, and that's how much. It's called kimchi, like a lot of kimchi to last the whole winter month.
Who's eating all this kimchi? Where's this kimchi gone?
Koreans, I think, can't cook without kimchi.
Of course.
I think most of us. So that's sort of you salt generously inside the cabbage, layer by layer. And this is sea salt that we're using, or pickling salt.
And so do you know what I really like is, you know, sometimes when you take vegetables and fruits and stuff home, and you know, you might have a lettuce or a cabbage and the leaves are a bit holey, you're keeping all that, you know, obviously it's all washed and clean, but there's no reason to throw out, you know, imperfect leaves. This is perfect to use.
That's right. Yeah. Actually, this hasn't been washed. My grandmother always said, don't wash your cabbage before you salt. You salt, but leave it, and then after it wilts, then wash it 3 times. And it's always 3 times.
There you go.
So leave this to salt for about 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours.
Okay.
And then, obviously, you're not going to do just 1/4 cabbage for this.
Yes, you're going to do
do like a chunk large.
So this is a 1/4 one. This is how much it sort of wilts down to.
This is how it wilts.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing.
And so if you can, the viewers, if you can just see that it's kind of really wilted. And you can tear off some Sammy and have a little taste.
Oh my god, that is so delicious, just like that.
Yes, that's right. And all the bacteria has been sort of getting rid of just by the salting. This is a pickle in itself.
And that is honestly amazing. I could just eat that on its own, really.
And to this, we're going to stuff this salted cabbage. This has been washed 3 times and drained. And we're going to add all the other ingredients.
Fantastic. So I honestly just can't believe how delicious that is right now on its own. It's so beautiful. So we're going to add some more ingredients to complete the kimchi. Can you give anyone some tips at home where they can source these ingredients?
There are Korean supermarkets all over Sydney. They're sort of in most suburbs now. So you can
common.
And also you can make Korean kimchi even if you don't go to Korean supermarkets. I mean, the cabbage you can now it's in the major supermarkets, even the radish. And you know, if you can just source Korean chili powder. That's
the key.
That's the key.
So I actually do have this at home, which smells amazing, and I add it to so many different dishes that aren't even Korean because it just makes it taste amazing.
Yeah, but okay, I'm going to shock you, or maybe I'm going to shock the viewers. You can pour this whole thing, or maybe let's start with half.
Half? Okay.
Yes, that's right. So don't get shocked. This is just
that's a lot
powder from the long red chili. So it's not that spicy.
So they're not those small red chilies, it's a long red chili.
It's a long red chili, so it's quite mild.
And there's no seeds in here either.
No, they when they ground the chili powder, they actually got rid of the seeds.
So you have the flavour without as much heat.
That's right. This is optional. This is just rice gruel. So this is just rice powder mixed with water and just boil it. It takes about 2 minutes to make a little soup texture. It just comes up the chili powder and makes it and the liquid, the kimchi juice is thicker. So we might need more of this. And Koreans just love garlic, as you know.
Oh yes.
We like to put about half the garlic into the mixture.
So just smelling all this now, you know, the flavours, they are so prominently Korean. They are so delicious and makes you hungry.
That's right. And this is ginger.
So ginger. Oh my god, this smells so good.
And I'm sorry, it's not vegan. This kimchi is not vegan. This is salted shrimp.
You can see the little eyeballs.
You can get it from Korean supermarket. If you don't want to see the eyeballs, you can blend it.
Yeah. I'm okay with eyeballs.
And this is anchovy sauce, a Korean one. It's quite salty compared to a regular fish sauce. But if you don't have the Korean anchovy sauce, you can purchase the fish sauce.
Ooh, the smell.
It's a very potent mix. And
so this is already things that I did not add to my kimchi. I didn't have the little baby shrimp and I didn't have the fish sauce, but the smell I can already tell.
Yeah, that's
what I did wrong.
All these ingredients prolong the life of the That's why it lasts so long. The chili powder, the garlic, and the salted shrimp, and some sugar because you've got so much spices in there.
Just to mellow it out.
Just to mellow it out. And
so
the green onions.
Heather, you're a chef. Is that And how long have you been a chef for?
Oh, I think maybe as long as when you were born, I think you started. No, but I teach cooking at the Korean Cultural Centre.
Fantastic.
So for those of you who haven't been to the Korean Cultural Centre, please come and visit us.
I know, I want to come now because this is, blown my mind.
Yeah, would you like to just use this?
Yes.
I mean, Korean Cultural Centre is in the city, and there's cooking classes, language classes, it's like an art gallery, K-pop, K-dance. It's a great place. So I know that we need more chili here. So if you like to just, you can be really, you go for it. You can be more forceful with it.
Smells amazing. So right now I'm sort of, working this all together.
That's
and
right.
mixing it all.
That's right.
It absolutely smells amazing. The colours are beautiful. I don't think it's something that I would want to wait to eat. Something I want to just eat straight away. Can you eat some of it straight away?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, Sammy. And also, you can ferment it itself.
Yep.
Eat it straight away. And it's the joy of kimchi making that we do with this.
So you're going to show
Straight
me
away. So it's a labour of love. It's like my little baby.
Yeah.
So you fill this layer by layer.
Okay.
And put it in a Tupperware container. A good quality Tupperware. Yes, it's true. Tupperware is a good vehicle, vessel for keeping kimchi or glassware. Because this was traditionally kept in a clay pot. So it's my little baby. So
Lay it up.
lay it up.
I'm going to do another one.
Let's wrap this like a little baby. And then place this in a Tupperware or glassware and fill it nearly to the top and leave it on a kitchen bench for about 3 or 4 days and then place it in the fridge.
Okay.
And then it would keep for maybe years after that.
So
to make traditional kimchi.
Do you have to press it down when it's in the container? Does it
A
need
little
to have,
bit, little bit, like try to get rid of as much air as possible. I'm going to make you, this is my love to you, Sammy. Oh, this is a prerequisite in our house. This is how I make traditional kimchi. I call everyone in the house and feed them this little kimchi castle.
Are you going to feed me?
It's strong, but it's a strong salad on steroids, right?
The ginger is amazing. That is so, it's got kick.
Does have a kick, doesn't it?
If you're feeling a little bit down, eat a spoonful of that.
When kimchi ferments,
that's delicious.
Yeah, when kimchi ferments, it mellows. So when it's first made, it's very strong.
So that's got a kick to it, but definitely when it mellows, that will be so
It won't be spicy.
delicious.
When it mellows.
And because it's already got that little bit of pickling done to the cabbage to start, it's quite you do get that flavour already.
Even when you're not making kimchi, the reddish filling, a lot of my students that have been taught at KCC actually like the filling as a salad for the barbecue.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh,
How did I do? Is that
Oh,
okay?
that's your little baby.
That's
Oh,
my little baby.
beautiful.
It feels like a very big baby.
That's a beautiful job.
Okay.
And so you would place this in a Tupperware or glassware.
Amazing. Oh my god, I can't believe it's so simple and so delicious.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll get rid of this. And let's
delicious.
just check on this
On our
dumpling, this rice cake called songpyeon.
looks pretty good.
If you like to just see, look at these beautiful colors. It's not probably, I think that one, the pink one, probably is ready.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's,
I can have it with my fingers. It doesn't feel too hot.
a bit hot. But this one,
So this is another.
you're going to get love today. So I might just get you to
Feed myself.
Yeah.
You don't want to feed me? But now I'm going to be judged on my chopstick skills. Oh no.
Heather, we've had a question. Do you still keep the kimchi on the kitchen bench for 3 days, even when it's summer?
It depends. So I always open up the jar, the container, and have a little taste. it should have that sherbety sourness, and then I place it in the fridge. So a lot of people make a mistake of placing the kimchi straight away in the fridge. You don't get the health benefits. You don't get the the bacteria, the healthy bacteria.
Because you need the bacteria to grow at room temperature. And the reason why it's good bacteria is because you do have so much salt and sugar in there and all these other fermented things. So you've got the little prawns, you've got and the fish sauce.
That's right.
All the things that help it along. That was so delicious. Oh my god. And the chew, what is it called again?
Jolgit.
You can, when you're eating it, it's almost like you say it automatically, jolgit, because it's just the chew, you know? That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
And Sammy, I'm like a Korean mom feeding you. These are called chon, and we make this egg dipped pancakes. It's a seafood. This is mung beans, and that's fish. So
fantastic. Which one should I try? Do you think?
You'll
like try all of them?
Maybe the seafood.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
it's the seafood one. And I've just made it a small version, and the restaurant serve it really big.
That is so beautiful. I could eat 20 of these.
And there are some japchae.
And so, does one person cook everything for this special day, or does everyone obviously helps, but do you bring dishes? Do you go to one person's house? How does it?
Usually the mom or even the parents cook and the children, but we all help nowadays. So it's a lot of sharing, a lot of eating.
Because it's a lot of work.
That's right. A lot of this is eaten at room temperature. For example, japchae is eaten at room temperature.
So this is a sweet potato noodle.
That's right.
So it's dried and then made into a noodle.
That's
it's totally beautiful.
And it's totally. It doesn't have any. It doesn't have any gluten, which is good.
So it's a lot of food, but it's all quite light, isn't it?
That's right, and there's not a lot of meat as well. And this is 1-year-old kimchi. It's very sour. So for the viewers out there, we don't have any vinegar added to kimchi, but it's very sour. You can lift up the outer layer.
So this is, I just want to, if you're following on Instagram, when Joe's going to do a zoom in, you can see how the leaf, because we've made it this way, it's quite stacked and beautifully folded. So the presentation is absolutely beautiful, isn't it? So I'm going to
lift up the lid, and then there's a little kimchi, the lighter leaf ready.
So this is the one you eat, so the layers are
right,
beautiful.
I'll just get a little one, it's very sour, it is 1 year old. So I made it this time last year, and I had it in my kimchi kit, and it's quite a sour kimchi.
That is perfect to me. I love sour because sour really gets your taste buds going, that you want to eat more. And so when you're eating food, to go back to a little plate of kimchi every second bite is so pleasurable. It's delicious.
Yeah, and cheers.
Oh, cheers!
This is a non-alcoholic punch.
So beautiful.
That's a rice punch, and this is ginger and cinnamon punch. It's our dessert punch.
Beautiful and very good for digestion. I'm
Very
guessing.
good
Yes.
digestion.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to you. Let's have a taste. Oh my god, that is so beautiful. It's just like refreshing but also delicate and smooth.
Yeah.
That is absolutely amazing.
And a lot of times Koreans have water kimchi, and we have water kimchi to have with rice cakes.
Wow. So do you know what was in the pink rice cake that I had? I think it was the sesame.
Yes.
It tasted like the sesame. So when you do it, do you do the separate colours so you know what flavour?
That's right,
Yeah.
that's right. If anyone has a nut allergy, then you can separate.
Just absolutely stunning. And so over here you've got just like a few vegetables and sides. So in Korean food, you've always got so many plates of food.
Lots of vegetables. So you're only eating a little bit of meat. Yeah.
And it looks like a lot of food, but a lot of it's fermented and, like you said, can be served room temperature. So it's actually probably very easy to serve this out for a big group of people.
I mean, this short ribs, it's called kadijim. I made it yesterday, and it's a slow braise with soy. And this is like king of all meats in Korea, and Australian beef is very popular over there.
Oh, of course, I bet. We do have very good beef here. And so during COVID, obviously you haven't been doing many cooking classes. Are you doing anything online, or we've got actually 2 books here as well, don't we? So these 2 lovely cookbooks, which you can actually buy online, but there is a competition on the Instagram page for Good Food and Wine Show, and they're 2 books that have been made by the Korean Food Foundation. So there's something that I love about Korean food is that it is so precise and traditional, and there is such a big culture that is intertwined into every single dish and how things are made. And you know, to have these 2 beautiful books to preserve Korean cooking, the tradition around it, I think is very, very special. And you know, I feel very, very lucky to have these to show everyone today.
It's very precious. It's done by the Korean Food Foundation, and they're at the top of the league as far as Korean food goes.
Yeah. And do you love teaching people to cook Korean food?
Love to. I feel like it's great to showcase Korean cuisine.
Who taught you to cook?
My grandmothers and my mother. Yeah, so it's a generational thing.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Heather. I think if you've got any other questions, otherwise you can head over to the Instagram page of Good Food and Wine Show, and you can enter the competition to win these books. Heather, thank you so much for joining us here today. You can head over and check out the what's your Instagram page actually? Have you got Instagram?
Heather Jeong, but a little lowercase.
Yes, there you go. And thank you everyone for joining us here on the live. We're very excited to try the rest of the dishes, and hopefully this kimchi will be the best kimchi I've ever had because I made it. Heather, thank you so much again. And should we cheers one more time?
Sure.
Okay. And so how do we say Happy New Year? Happy Thanksgiving to each other in Korean?
Chuseok.
Chuseok.
Yeah, Happy Chuseok.
Okay, Happy Chuseok everyone.
Happy Chuseok.